Open up the daily solutions and then play it. Got float knowledge in our brains and we'll say it. Slinging those salt rocks, don't need no props. The law won't stop us, we're floating all the coppers.
Gotta widen your eyes, gotta keep your mind open. Float your body, cause your mind's already floating. The salt will hold you like a big bear hug. Just don't accidentally take a glug.
So don't be tripping,
Get too dipping,
and if we get the sense that you're slipping,
we'll be you on your ass like the green on grass.
so you better wise up and listen. All right. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome.
How's it going out there? Good. Good, us too.
Yeah,
we're doing great.
Pretty much just what's happening over here.
I'm Graham,
This is Ashkahn.
and today's question is, what do you think about people getting high and coming into your float center? So, we thought that we'd actually get high while we answer this question as well.
It seemed appropriate.
It's legal here
Just so you know.
in Oregon, yeah. We're not breaking the law.
Yeah, we like to go method for our answers here. Just like for UV ones, we expose ourselves to UV light before we answer those questions.
You know, absorb the beams subjectively as well as objectively. So, yeah, I mean, it's cool, man. You know, let people float stoned or whatever. People can smoke and still do podcasts. And floating's even less crazy than podcasting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a humongous percentage of people float while stoned.
That wasn't also my actual answer to this. It's not like, even though I am smoking pot, I also feel the need to pretend to be higher than I actually feel right now, you know? So, okay, well, what's the concern? What are people worried about when they think of people coming in stoned, I guess? Like, what's the...
Well, I mean, there's just kind of the whole general doing drugs in a float tank sort of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Liability and the possible danger of someone coming in an intoxicated state.
Them making it weird for their employees or other customers, or having like a pot-induced panic attack in there or something like that.
I mean, this is, you know, I guess like when we talk about this drug stuff, we do tell. It's not like we tell our customers you should blaze up and come in and float.
Although I do know center owners that definitely do say that to their customers.
I mean, and it's not really even about like legality. Like we don't tell people to drink a bunch of alcohol or come into float either, even though that is something that they could like easily legally do.
Yeah. Also, I would never advise someone to do, like, that sounds way worse than coming in stoned.
Yeah, I mean, yes. But, you know, we do want people to realize that you got to be safe in a float tank and there are ways that things can go wrong and all that sort of stuff. But the reality is that, I mean, there's just lots of people out there who smoke weed and lots of people who smoke weed all the time and also do things like go into float tanks.
Yeah. And I guess another concern, I mean, I suppose this is more on my side of why I don't recommend it to people, is because I like to encourage people to go into float without doing anything, you know? Like even if you get stoned all the time, floating is awesome. Like it's a great thing to do, totally sober. And I don't know, like I kind of, like, we don't encourage people we don't play music before people get in floats. We don't encourage people to play their own music when they're going in, especially for their first few times, you know? And so to me, it's like pot is just another one of those things that I don't, you know, I like to encourage people to go in without anything, you know, alcohol, pot, music, another person, like just go in pure, you know? So yeah. I guess I understand from that perspective as well.
I know. I mean, for so many float tank questions, I feel like that is such a good answer because it's just, I feel like whatever people want to do in there, like it's nice to just understand what the float experience is and try it out. And then, you know, a lot of times I think people will realize after floating without anything that was actually really enjoyable and that is in fact what they want to do.
Yeah, no, I agree. So, I mean, yeah, there. I guess there's encouraging people, but then there's also just, let's say someone shows up stoned at your float center, and they're not like out of their mind, they're not bothering staff members, but their eyes are bright red, and you know they smell a little of pot or something. Like, would we turn them away, or should other people turn them away who aren't us as well? I guess mixed into that question.
I mean, I feel like if there's like someone is just really, I mean, if someone's acting inappropriately or something like that, I think there's just a difference between that and someone coming in and floating.
Yeah, like stoned. And I guess even if someone were totally sober and acting like an asshole, I'd say, yeah, you have permission to not let them come in and float, right?
Yeah.
So if people are coming in high, I mean, first let's establish again for people who aren't familiar with us, we're in Portland, Oregon, is where we run Float On. We literally have a dispensary 50 feet from, I mean, well, if you were able to travel through walls, it would be 1 foot from our float center.
It's directly behind us.
We share a wall with a dispensary. So we have people who go back there before their floats, grab a pre-roll, smoke it, and then come in. Like that's just our reality that we live in. So maybe we're a little more inured to it than other states or something. But I mean, honestly, the number of problems that have come as a result of having obviously stoned people come in has been, I mean, I can't think of a single one, like zero or very close to zero.
Certainly for us, nothing has happened.
Yeah, exactly. And again, we're in Portland, Oregon, and we share a wall with the dispensary. And although we have people coming in stoned all the time, I can't think of a single issue that we've actually had as a result of that kind of behavior,
Yeah, and I can't even really think of many times people have come in who are just, really overtly kind of stoned out of their minds. Like, I think most of the time if it's happening, it's not even, like, people are completely acting cool and normal and nothing is even apparent about anything, about how they're feeling or what's going on.
I mean, it'd be way more irresponsible to run a podcast high than have, go float high or something like that. I mean, on top of it, you have people like Joe Rogan, who obviously are huge promoters of float tanks, and huge stoners actively talk about doing things like edibles inside the float tank. So there's just this natural connection that people have, probably regardless of where they are or where they live, that might make them want to experiment around with this. And also people who are really experienced floaters and really experienced stoners saying that two combined give them a better float experience. So there is a good chance that at least by allowing people to have kind of more of a safe space, and again, if they're not causing problems, they just have red eyes or you suspect they might have smoked a joint before coming in, let them have their float, and it might make them have an even, for them, more profound experience. Or, maybe they float and they're like, why do I need to be high all the time? And they decide to give it up, or, who knows what happens. But they didn't disturb your business, and the other people in the center feel comfortable. So, where's the crime? Where's the crime, Khan?
Tell it, yeah.
Yeah, what else about smoke? I mean, guys, I guess there's also, we have had people who actively smoke pot in their rooms before. Like, I've gone to clean up a float room and had pot smoke, like, wafting out of it.
Yeah, and it was a point where, like, the dispensary behind us had their whole, like, back room right next to our float wall as well. Like, one of her rooms just smelled like pot because there's the wall sharing the back storage area of a dispensary.
And I went out to kind of take a succession of different like coffee dates and lunches and stuff with customers just to kind of, see what we could do better and things like that. And one of the funny pieces of feedback I got was from a customer who said that she always requested room 4 because it always had this delightful smell of pot in it. And she felt like maybe she was having a slightly enhanced float by being in that room specifically, which I thought was really funny feedback. So, I mean, in my mind, though, like well, first of all, people are usually more responsible than actually lighting up inside the rooms themselves, And I mean, to me, that's kind of unacceptable behavior, but I don't really know how to stop it. And I'm not going to punish someone afterwards other than actually, talking to them or writing them an email and saying, hey, please don't smoke pot in our facility, if that's something you can do around the corner before you come in or something like that. But yeah, I mean, at that point, you are intruding on other guests' experiences, and, the smell of it is going kind of, as pot smell will, just everywhere. So, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't ever encourage someone to get high in the facility.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just such a widespread thing that people are doing that. Like, to stop it, you'd have to be searching people's bags and, like, it would be so much more intense than anything you'd want to do to your customers coming in.
Yeah. And again, what are you going to do coming out? Like, if it's illegal in your state, call the cops on them after a float where they'd smoked pot in your room or something? Like, it feels more like a problem with, like, civility or just being a responsible person in someone else's business than it seems like an actual issue that you need to be concerned about more than that. It seems like a case where a reprimand or just telling someone that's not okay in your facility is kind of the extent of it.
Yeah.
This is good stuff. I guess there's
So-
what else? Hey Jordan, is there anything else you want to hear about smoking pot in float tanks?
Sounds great.
Our audio engineer says no, he's fine.
So,
Cool.
yeah, I guess that's it. We answered everything about it then.
And now we're really high, so gotta see what we'll do with that. If you want us to answer more podcasts high, I guess let us know.
Yeah.
If this
Ask us questions.
if we absolutely should never smoke pot and get on the air again, also let us know. Yeah.
Or just ask us questions and we'll relate it to things that would be awesome to do. Right? Like a question about like if someone's like, what's the most delicious sandwich in Portland? Like we would go eat the most delicious sandwich on air and it would be great for us. So if you could please send in questions like that.
What is the most delicious sandwich in Portland?
That's a good question.
Well, join us next week or tomorrow. I mean, what are we? Weekly
Tomorrow.
Solutions podcast.
It's every day. It's every day.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. And be chill out there.
Yeah, we'll talk to you later.
Don't be all uptight.
Don't just drive it.
Wait, go to floattanksolutions.com /podcast and send us in those things that we talked about sending in a second ago. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah. Peace.